anyway,
Oh.
just so I
Okay.
can be ready. I mean, we don't have to start right now, jump into the game, but I'm gonna mute myself on the big blue button.
You are now muted.
Can you? And I'm gonna unmute myself on the Google Meets.
Okay, so they should still be able to hear us.
So not yet, but now if I share the link, the video link on the big blue button, share an external video. There we go. And can you hear me, Bee? One thing that you will have to do is to mute the video on the big blue button so that you don't hear us, you, me at the same time.
Okay, and they're gonna hear. The video has a delay.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna hear us with a 10-second delay. So just to recall, both of our mics are unmuted on our Google Meets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was that Nick?
Yeah, he said
Okay,
it seems like it's working on a lag, and I'm like, yeah, it's fine for us, and they're gonna get a lag.
And I'm muted in the big blue button, and I have muted the video there, so I cannot hear Vidrun anymore. But I'll guess he'll talk in the chat if he needs to talk.
Seems like more than that.
I will not smoke another cigarette. Oops. Oh, now people can see my super duper space glasses and be like, hello, I'm Kaspar. Hello, future. Hello, Kaspar, this is future. Yay.
Kaspar of the future. Of your pasta
This
glasses.
is actually giving me a nice moire effect, which is actually I'm completely lying. This is not giving me a nice moire effect.
No, absolutely not. It's plastic. You put plastic on your face.
I am on the wrong Wikipedia page. Why is my door ringing? Give me 1 second.
Oh, good, you're back. I was trying to be entertaining.
That's okay. I just had the gingerbread man at the door. So this is not a conference about Alice felines, Caspar the Live glitch. But I guess by the delay we could start. So let me hop into the right thing. I think you need to go on Expo. Yep, that is it. And from there, we're going to have to choose a Eurobean server. Eurobean. Oh, I want a fancy name. I'll go for Kaspoop. I'll just do a quick session. And I'll join it, and you can tell me if you can or not find it. And if you can't find it, then we're probably fucked.
Nice.
Shall we start at the rail station? And I think that would be
at 0.
Yeah, let's meet at number 0. I think this is number 0. Oops. There you go. I just got to take the sound off because although I do love the sound,
for people who've never been, all of this environment is like a glitched version of AKC Medica in Croatia. So for anybody who has been, you'll get a little bit of the semblance. Like right here, you can see that this is going into the courtyard.
Okay. Are you in the session? Because I can't see you.
No, I'm not in the session. I'm just
Okay.
gonna follow with you.
Awesome. Well, I'll just wait until you're here. Oh,
I'm
that
not. No, I'm just gonna.
beautiful
I'm not
sunset.
gonna.
Oh, you're not gonna come inside the session?
No.
Okay. Okay. So you're gonna have to guide me at the pieces that you want to talk about then. So yeah, let's drop in. So this would be the entrance of Akademika. I don't know if anybody's been there before in the chat, but this is basically where the fubar festival used to happen in real life. And we've actually been there together with Bee, so a lot of these places are actually places that we recognize. Let's just wash our eyes first. There we go.
Yeah, and for anybody who wants to check out the space for themselves, you just hop into the server, being the via the expo link in the website, and then you hop into a server, and you can use 0 through 1 to jump around the place, and typical game like WASD to move around, and you just walk up to pieces, and they will activate.
Yes. Did you have any works in mind on this
I
ground
did
floor?
actually, right there in the center.
This one?
So, yeah.
Yay.
This is Bumstead. So we're just going to walk around and talk about some artists that we're familiar with and just pieces that stood out to us. And this is work by John Bumstead, who is currently located in Minneapolis, U.S. artist. And I think Bumstead's just so cool. I got to meet them for the first time in Chicago. Actually, when I found out he lived in Chicago, I was like, hey, we should like hang out. And we met up at a coffee shop. And I was just expecting to, meet somebody. Yeah, it was crazy. I was just expecting to meet somebody and to talk to them. And instead I come in, and that's what happens. But he has one of these are all broken computer screens. He got into glitch art just a few years ago because Apple computers are what he fixes, and the technology of their screen breaks in very beautiful ways. And he started documenting it and sharing it. And that's how he got into the community. And he brought one of these computers to the coffee shop and like gave me some privacy film or whatever. And he's like, here, play around or like whatever. And I was just like doing this and playing around and kind of ignoring him for a minute as I got to, because as you like turn the privacy screen that he's detached from it, the design will change, which is really cool. And then before in Minneapolis, we went to the show, the Glitch Art is Dead show that Miles Taylor put together. And then he also went to Croatia the same year, which I just think it's so cool that this is somebody who kind of got into art way later in their life and then just jumps right in and is
He used
super
to have
passionate.
an office job, right? I don't remember when he ditched everything to become a Mac repair artist. What I find really lovely on his website is that he mixes both of these, in the sense that on the same website you can actually like ask for getting your MacBook repaired, but you can also like buy his art, and I just think that's really sweet.
It's very much him, right? And they they totally go together, which is awesome. And then isn't he like really into trees or something?
Yeah, there's this whole thing where let me check if I can find it on my website.
That's your
But
face.
basically, yeah, that is my website. What I really like about John is he often sends his work in physical format when he can. And once he sent us these computers, just like he brought at the cafe with Brittany, where people would actually get this polarizing filter. So you see what they have in their hands right now is a polarizing filter, which actually will change the colors from being all white to being polarized. So I'm not an optics expert, so I won't explain exactly what this happens right here. But basically, when they turn this paper, the colors will go from orange to green to all the colors in the world. And yeah, that's about that. He also did a really nice conference that same time, talking about his relationship to machines. And I think it was really interesting what he said, because one of the first times that I realized that, how to put this, that technology was getting more and more difficult to break. I remember John Cates talking in Minneapolis at the Glitch Artist Dead exhibition about what we call technological hard cuts. And just to redefine it for anybody that doesn't know what that is, but it's basically something that will, an interface that will abstract the broken. So for instance, when you plug an HDMI screen and you don't plug it well, if the video will not be displayed correctly, then we'll just display a blue screen. And that's what we call a sort of a technological hard cut. And I really like this concept because, and I really like this concept because it draws a really thin line between something that is working, something that is not working, and something that is glitchy. And so if you take this line in like 3 parts, and think about all of the analog world, then this line is actually quite large because there's a lot of things that can be displayed. But if you go into the realm of digital, that line of glitchiness between the, the broken and the unbroken gets actually thinner and thinner. And and John really,
especially as they make programs that fix themselves, like they're
Yes.
not allowed to glitch.
Exactly. And yeah, I think that John actually talked about this in a very poetic way the last time I saw him, which was that he described his process of how he does these. So in the case of these artworks, you can't see any trees inside, but he often uses trees in his artworks. And so what he does is he gets up in the morning and likes to go find some dead trees. But the thing with dead trees is that they're there one day and the next day maybe they're not. And it's sort of the same relationship that he has with his computers as well, because out of 5,000 computers, one of them is going to glitch in a really interesting way. But maybe tomorrow this computer will fix himself, or maybe it will just break completely and we'll go on the other side of that line.
Yeah, it's beautiful work.
Yeah, I love this analogy that he made at his conference last time. Do I have anything on the ground floor? Just 1 second, like, there's one thing I want to talk about real quick, is that I have to admit that I have a crush for what we call Z-plane crash, which is, I don't know if you can see it in the stream.
The
maybe.
like kind of more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It gives us this sort of like natural moire patterns, which I think are objectively, like, completely, how I put this. Well, there's actually some moire works right here by Mina Udovicic, if I'm not pronouncing this, if I'm pronouncing them correctly. Voila, these artworks right here. And that's actually one of the really nice things about actually being inside of the digital space more than being inside of the physical place, because inside of the physical place you would actually have this printed and you wouldn't be able to get any of these actually beautiful moire effects from there.
Yeah, it's really like heavily affected in here, which is really awesome.
Yay. If we walk around a little bit this way, so if you've never been to Midika, this was the whole part of the entrance. And this is usually where they will sell you a ticket for a punk concert or a glitch art exhibition.
Or they have the punk haircut station.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that was over there, I think, next to the eye cleaning station. And this would be the main building, where here would be the library. I remember having a dub station party in there, and the actual fubar exhibition place will be up these stairs over there. Here we go. I'm just gonna go there 2 seconds. And here there's a work about chaos law, which I'm not going to talk about much, but I just have to admire um, the, the glitching of my French president during an announcement during the COVID times, which I unironically thought was very funny.
Gosh. Ever since, I wonder if it's the plugins, but I just seen it's TikTok too. That data moshing is just. I mean, it was always everywhere. Well, pixel sorting was everywhere for the longest
Yeah.
time, and now it's data moshing. Like people love to do the hand thing where your hands
They have
touching
the
something.
data mosh on TikTok?
Oh yeah, it's that whenever you see the videos of somebody like reaching and grabbing
Yeah.
something, but then when they lift it up, it's something else. Like because they do like the
Yeah.
edits in a way. Very popular.
Holy crap, I still haven't been on TikTok, to be honest.
I have not, but I have enough people who send it to me, and enough people post on the GAC Facebook of it.
Yeah.
Because there's a few people that I think that is their like art style of choice of the switching reality kind of stuff.
And by the way, if there's anybody who is into data moshing, a little bit later on during the stream, I will do a tiny demonstration on one of my big secrets. I don't know if it's a big secret on data moshing, but explaining a little bit of my technique. Yeah.
Do you want to go upstairs? Ooh, that's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, that's actually.
There's a
I
lot
think
of pieces in here for anybody who wants to look at them. I think there's like 60 or so.
I think there's even more than that.
More
Because
than that.
there's I think there's I mean, for each piece you can press E and Q to get the previous and the next piece. And
Oh,
actually,
you're right. Yeah.
that's kind of original because I don't often see what I think is a SVG glitch.
Mm.
Because you see how this glitch is really geometric
Mm-hmm.
in some way. It feels completely vectorized, and I wonder if no, that definitely comes from the work, from the glitch artwork. And I actually really love some SVG data bending just to illustrate a tiny bit.
What do you do? SVG, is that going to be a notepad? Yep, as you go to notepad.
Yeah, exactly. Well, one of the great things about SVG files is that you can actually open them in Notepad without even having to read them in hexadecimal data, because SVG is actually like data that should be human readable. And this one is actually pretty simple. This is an SVG that I just prepared earlier on, and it's an SVG of the SVG logo. Well, that was very meta.
Meta.
But yeah, basically SVGs only contain vector informations. So all of these tiny numbers that you see there, they're actually coordinates for triangles. So I'm not sure in which order they are exactly, but for example, this would be all of the white triangles because you can see the fill color is FFFFFFF, and so these would be the white triangles. And
so when you glitch this, because there is a lot of data that it looks like holds it together, do you just mess with only that paragraph that you have highlighted there, and then you would mess with like only another paragraph?
Yeah, I think that's at least the most common way to glitch SVG files, in the sense that like all files have what we call a header. So this will be the head of the file, which has crucial information for the file's work, and it has the content. And I'm explaining this. I know that you know all this, but also a lot of people maybe do not know this. And so the content of the file, basically this will hold all of the triangles, all of the vector data, and this up here will say that this has been done by this person. Sometimes in a JPEG it can hold information about the color space, but which often means that if you're going to modify something from the header, often we were talking about technological hardcuts earlier, then this would be a technological hardcut in the sense that the file would stop working if you hit it in the wrong place in the header. But in the case
I'm surprised by how small of a file that is, because I'm used to, we'll talk about Clink in a second upstairs, but the last things I've done in Notepad were 3D objects, which is a shit ton of information and is so much longer than this tiny little
And it's not even
SVG.
uncompressed. Like it's not even compressed. Like 3D files, they're always served to you raw.
Huh.
So yeah, this is the SVG logo in question, which has very few triangles. Let me go back to the game. The game is here. There we go. Ovidron says it's around 500 pieces by around 150 otters. Holy wow.
I was so off at 60. Oh my god.
Yes.
Do you want to go upstairs?
Yeah, sure. I'm just looking. Do I have anybody else? No, I have nobody else on the ground floor. So here we're going.
This is where I took a photo of Jacob.
Yay.
Which did he ever have a name besides the collaboration that he did with Roz?
I think he had Astinia, but I don't remember if he had his own name at that point.
Ooh.
Oh, that's I don't know. I might be very technical, and I might do a technical workflow on a few of the artworks that I like. Actually, that's sort of what I had a little bit planned. I'm not saying this was spontaneously technical, but this is actually one of the works done with, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, done with the FF Glitch. And
okay.
do you remember Ramiro Pola from the 2 fubars ago?
I'm sure if I saw their face.
You remember he did this workshop about coding is easy, start coding now.
Yes, okay, yeah.
And one of the tools he presented was actually really funky. It's so basically in 2017 on the Glitch Artist Collective, I asked this question pretty naively, asking if anybody has knows how to get any control on the motion vectors, and if we can modify motion vectors by hand inside video files. So just for a really quick recap on what are motion vectors, basically motion vectors are used in the compressions, in the compression of videos. And if you had a video with a red pixel on the left, and if on the next frame the red pixel would be on the right, then there would be a motion vector that would go from the red pixel from frame 1 to the red pixel to frame 2. And so my question was, can you edit these vectors by hand? And that's when Ramiro Pola, after 2 years of silence, or after actually just saying, I'll look into it in 2015, he comes back in 2018 during Fubar with a full software on how to actually do that. And
wow.
I was amazed. That was a complete surprise when he arrived with this idea. If anybody wants to check it out, the software is called FF Glitch, because Ramiro Pola actually used to be an FFmpeg developer, so he branched the FFmpeg project. Yeah,
that's so cool. There are so many people in the glitch community who are really like pinnacles of the software that we use. Not just to glitch either. Like Adobe owes so much to Jamie Fenton, who is like a glitch pioneer.
Yes.
So and there's more than that too. Thomas is a genius. I imagine that there's a lot of influence of his work.
Yeah, I learned everything from Thomas, to be honest. I actually didn't even know much how to code before I started in the glitch community. I had coded a tiny bit.
I did not see Thomas's work in the show, though. I don't think that he's in the show. I'll take you
to it if you want. Do you want me to take you to it? Is it?
Well, let's go to Clink's first since we're here.
Yes.
He's somewhere in one of these rooms. Oh, yeah, that one.
That's the creepy person.
I like it.
That is where Zoe and Wade kissed.
I think it's to your left. Wait, go behind you.
It is.
Yeah. No.
No, that was that. To my left. Is it that tiny room there?
It's in a little room, and it's a square photo.
It's in a tiny room, and it's a square photo.
Oh, go. Yeah.
I
know it's not up the stairs yet.
It's not there. Maybe it is on the side. Probably Vidran knows, but he's gonna tell us with 30 seconds delay. Let me get back out of fubar for a second.
Okay, and then we
back
go
in.
back in.
Oh, do I need to go up the stairs?
Maybe.
You know the
Or
tiny
wait,
pair of
turn
stairs?
around. Turn around real quick before
Yeah.
you go up. Go. What's in that room?
That's the hack lab, actually.
Oh, is it?
I think this is the hack lab, yeah, because it has the broken ceiling.
Aww.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a very pretty piece.
Pizza train. And I think actually Clink's artwork will be up there. Let me just check in the rooms on the way. This is Machu Picchu.
Oh, I love that one too.
Yes. That is Bob Carson. And will it
Oh,
be
here we are.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
And this, oh, it does have a title head.
I
like
love
that he
these
just.
curves.
I have done a lot of object glitching, and Clink is the person who really taught the community how to glitch 3D objects in this way of taking the object files or even the FBX files and putting them into Notepad++ and doing either replacement method or copy and paste method glitching. But Clink really knows what he's doing. So he goes in and very fine tunes, he knows what vertices he's looking to, or vertexes rather, and manipulates them in ways that are just like, you'll go in, and if you ever do object glitching, which I really recommend you should, it's a lot of fun. Don't be discouraged when you're not able to make work like Clink's. Because it's just, they're so complicated and so beautiful. I remember for that show in Minneapolis.
Did you do the workshop?
I actually didn't get to do a workshop because I think that was the day before, but I did get to try to print one of his glitch heads. It was a simple one. It wasn't one of these, but
so with the 3D printer?
Yeah, and I was successful in it, but I had to pretty much I had to delete everything in the center and then like kind of like rebuild it because it kept crashing. And I would just get like blobs of plastic. But he's so sweet too. He's an older gentleman. We have referred to him as our grandpa before, because he's also, especially for the people who've been around for a while and have this wealth of knowledge, he is certainly one of them who is just so eager and willing to share and teach others.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, his website is Source XOR, which is basically short for one of the logic gates that I cannot recall. And it has actually the same 4 parts tutorial that it's had for the last years, but is unchanged because it is actually rather perfect. He explains in depth how to modify OBJs. And yeah, I remember the first time I saw Mark. He wanted to take a selfie with me, but he's so tall and I'm so short. Wow. And how do you 3D print this kind of stuff? Because I guess that not all of these layers actually have thickness. Did you have to modify any of that as well?
You have to essentially give it a shell. Like you have to thicken it, or if they are just planar, you have to at least widen that enough that it is going to be printable.
Yeah.
This particular one would be very challenging because of all of the empty space, to where you essentially have arches over nothing underneath it. So you would have to do what is bridging to build things that would later be removed. But because what you're actually printing, what the sculpture is so thin, as you try to remove that bridging, you're probably going to break the sculpture unless you've like really thickened the sculpture and really thinned the bridging. But it was I learned a lot in trying to do that experiment, and I just admire Clink so much. So it was something I really, really wanted to do. And I've actually since sent that head to him. So he does
Oh,
have it in his possession.
it's cute.
Yeah, super cute.
I remember sort of like doing a small residency in France in a Fab Lab, and I see them struggle with like this boat that everybody uses for 3D printing, and in my head I'm thinking about you, and I'm being like, shit, how it would be so much work if you guys would do that in glitch art. Do I have anybody on the first floor? I have Thomas Collet
This one.
somewhere. Oh shit, yes. That is actually one of my favorite works and favorite techniques from the 2019.
What is it called again? You told me, and I always knew it was something specific because the style is very particular. So I figured it had to be some kind of artifact thing. What kind of glitching is this?
It's basically Jose did here some PGF data bending. So when we say PGF data bending, this means that we're data bending a PGF format. And what Jose is really known for in the glitch community will be basically, you know how some DJs look for tracks that nobody knows, that have less than 20 views, or that you can only buy on vinyl? Well, this is the glitch community version of these guys. But basically, Jose will find any codec that was developed in the North Pole by a group of students who did that on a 1 month speed run developing coding project, and find ways to bend it. And I think what's really interesting with these obscure codecs as well, and these naive codecs, is that they often use systems which differ widely from the known formats, such as PNG, such as JPEG, or even I can't remember the name, so I'll just pretend I just did. Or that. And often when you glitch some of these codecs, you're gonna find some bends that you've actually never seen before. And when Jose actually published this, I was completely amazed at the nature of these artifacts. I mean, having such like organic, roundy, curvy will be shapes in glitch art. will be blue shapes.
And it sounds kind of aggressive almost, that they are looking for these rare formats to break them, but it's actually really personable and really respecting, I think, of those, because you have to get to know the format to be able to control it in this way even a little bit, and to be able to glitch it in this way. You need to understand it and work within it to be able to produce these kind of results. So I just, even though it sounds really aggressive, it's actually really endearing and sweet, and shows a lot of what would you call that? Not just admiration, but
you know, these people, completely obsessive. It really reminds me of these people who do collages with loads of tiny things, or that are really into one task at one moment, and just will come out of their cave in 2 months after reading the full documentation.
Like a monocle and like tweezers.
Because this is, if I'm not mistaken, what I used to call one hex glitching, which is super duper game I invented in 2012, which is basically take any file and try and do the most glitch by only modifying one hex. I love how you're accompanying me with all these gestures that I'm doing.
You take the file, one hex.
One hex. And so, like, for instance, like if you had to data bend any file and modify only one hex, where would you hit? Where would you modify that hex?
I would smack my computer. I don't know.
So earlier on, we were talking about a little bit about the Notepad, not about Notepad, sorry, I was talking about SVG formats. And you remember, guys, when I was talking about this, the header holding crucial information? Well, the header sometimes can be modified in a sense that, for instance, well, this SVG file will have no we'll do nothing at all. But let's imagine that this would describe a color space. That this would be RGB, and let's say that I would modify this to some other type of color space. I'll just invent the blobby wobby color space, if you don't mind. And suddenly, by modifying only one hex, then my whole image would be affected. Whereas if I would do a modification of only one hex in the body, so modifying only one of the triangles, maybe I can do it here just for fun. I'll modify 2 triangles just in case one doesn't work. And in this case, only one triangle would be modified, and we actually wouldn't even see it because I probably modified a triangle which was in the middle of other black triangles, which was why I should not do glitch art on live stream. But basically, this Jose's work, and when I saw it, I got completely obsessed with it, and I wanted to do my own. So I downloaded the PGF encoder from this. I was going to say Russian website, but I just want to say Russian website, even though it wasn't Russian. And I tried it, and it was so touchy and so it collapses so fast. You modify one hex and that's all you've got. If you modify 2, you're gonna break the file, and so it's just doing the key change. And following this, all my friends were like, "Your work is nothing. You just modify one hex and you get good visuals." I'm like,
I had to get to this point.
Yes.
Oh, that goes into how people feel about digital art, and there's a whole history and debate still happening about stuff like that. And in our other video, we'll talk about the Russian hacker and how that came to be such a staple image in our mind, and why Kaspar cares to say Russian website.
I'm so sorry about that. Is there another piece you want to check in there, or is
yeah,
that is Russ.
Hi Russ.
Hi Russ. Is Russ in the live stream, by the way? She's probably there somewhere, or not, or she'll see us later on. Do you want me to stop on this one, or should I?
You should talk on this one. Or scroll through them too. I actually forgot to scroll through a lot of things.
Yeah.
Is it just the Mother Mary?
Yes.
I like it because it turns it into like a 2 GIF.
It's true.
Yeah. And
she
that's
uses,
the rest of the show.
Still on these displacement map techniques. I recognize here the I was gonna say, of course, obvious DCT artifacts, but for those who do not know what a DCT artifact is basically a group of 64 pixels, DCT compression, and what these pixels represent is how do I put this? It's a bidimensional sine wave. So I'd like to get out of the boring maths.
DFT. What is that drug called? Not PCP. DMT. There we go. One letter off.
And so yeah, here you have it. And basically, these are all groups of 64 pixels. And if you take any of these, like let's take 7 of them, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and mix them up and give them coefficients. So saying this one should be put in the mix 3 times, this one should be put in the mix 5 times. And if you put these 7 together, then you get you can get anything. So they're basically the building blocks.
What do you mean anything?
Anything. So they're basically the
hamburger.
Exactly. Well, no, sorry, B, but you can get the image of a hamburger if that's what you're into.
Okay.
So I should have prepared a part about DCT. This is spontaneous. But for example, if we zoom this on well, fuck it, let's just zoom in on this really big DCT. Desktop, we might do overtime, but that's fine. DCT, and I'm gonna modify word. Can I zoom in with paint? Does paint have a zoom? Yes. So if I zoom in on this, and there we go, and I'm just gonna draw a square which will be roughly 64 pixels by 64 pixels. Basically, in any JPEG image, this square is the addition of a whole bunch of these are the squares that I showed earlier. And they basically just have coefficients. So right now all of these are very straight, but if we mix them up together, then you might get some curves out of it. And that's how basically how JPEG compression works, is instead of encoding every pixel, we're going to encode every group of 64 pixels.
Make like almost like a big pixel of that.
Exactly. And in video formats, we call that a macro block. And we'll talk about macro blocks later on. But yeah, all this to say that RAS uses DCT compression artifacts as vector displacements in her images.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's really
you
cool.
recognize them now? They're tiny and they're I love them.
I was always curious to their displacements and how they did it, because I know they work in Photoshop, and I know that they do displacements, and then it's like, oh yeah, they glitch the displacement map that they're using and then use that on the image to create this effect. But I mean, they do it obviously they've been doing it a long time, and they're very skilled in it, so it's not just like, oh doy, but also all doy, like of course that's how they're doing it. How did you not?
Gosh, I remember the Glitch Artist Collective when it was the Displacement Map Collective.
Well, it's gone through its phases of displacement map, pixel sorting. Like we used to have a lot more GIFs. We used to have we still have some. Boris still makes GIFs like every day.
Some displacement map GIFs?
No, I think he does more data mushing and messes with the color information a lot.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm so sorry, but I haven't been on GAG for ages and ages and ages. I have not curated a single artwork in the last year and a half. Gosh, my roommate just arrived. But yeah, this is I don't know. I really wanted to stop. I mean, no, I do know. I know that I wanted to stop on this artwork by Thomas Collet. It's starting to get pretty dark here. This is a still, so it's a still image of a video, because Thomas Collet does mainly video glitch art, and even if it's not a video, he usually takes stills out of them. To do them, he uses the same techniques as, of course, I do, and a lot of other datamosh artists. And how do I put this? I don't know. He's got a very when we talk about datamoshing, it's often when you're a datamoshing artist, either you're going to be in this how do I say, this figurative approach. Say, for instance, the TikTok filter of the hand, for instance, coming out of the plane. Either you're going to have an abstract approach, and when you're going to have this abstract approach, it's going to be, you're going to push the file. Gosh, I know how to say this in French, but I don't know how to say it in English. But basically, what's very interesting with the abstract approaches in data motions is that you're going to push the motion vectors, you're going to multiply them an abusive number of times, and you're going to do it way too much, so, and you're not going to recognize the video anymore. But what you'll get is these sort of artifacts, which often resemble the same way the acrylic paints, or even oil paints work in real life, which the first time that I saw that, thought was absolutely stunning, because how could something so digital react in a way that looks so much like paint, and of course it doesn't exactly. But when you see it glitch in front of your eyes, you see that the red with the other color does the green. I can't remember how the colors mix, but it seemed pretty obvious.
No, just for other people, Kaspar went to the store a few weeks ago to buy paint to mix them and thought that he could make all of the colors with, like, what was it? Purple, dark blue, and orange
Exactly.
or something.
I got these 3 colors, and I thought that I could do it
your
all.
primaries.
No, I completely come from digital art, so I say it looked like paint, but it looks like what I've seen in videos of paint. But yeah,
You think in light.
Gosh.
Oh, this is a beautiful. I love the title too. When it comes to glitch, I like it raw.
Yeah. And what is there is basically his. Some of them seem like completely raw and untouched as well. They don't look like they've gone through a lot of processing. And it's really, this is like 720p glitch. This may be the time. No, you tell me. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say how much he does really pay attention. I mean, everybody pays attention to detail, but he likes to isolate that detail too. I just think of the sculpture he printed for Blue X80, where he did a whole video and he took all of the blue information and then took each of the separate layers of that video and stacked them on top of each other. And he did, he called this video in blue or something. And the sculpture was just all of the blue information of the video stacked on top of each other. It was a really cool sculpture.
Yeah, I was gonna say this may be a really good time to show one of my secret tricks to all the data moshers out there, which is so let me just drop in here real quick. I won't make this too long as this isn't a glitch tutorial by Kaspar, but I think it is worth mentioning in some sense. So here I've got a few pictures of a horse, which are actually frames from a video. So if I'm just gonna FFmpeg this into a video, so I'm gonna be FFmpeg I horse / and then just the name of the thingy up 04d.png. So if you've used Tomato before or any glitch encoders, you'll know that we have to well, here I'm going to choose the XVID codec. I'm going to choose to have no B frames, no audio, and I'm going to choose a GOP size, which is this, the distance between iframes, to be 99999. So I'm going to make
frames are, it's iframes, P frames, and B frames. B frames are in the middle, right? Iframes are in the beginning and end.
So B frames are basically bipredictive frames, and the reason I don't want any B frames when I'm doing data moshing is because
that's what refreshes the video's memory of what's happening.
It does a little bit as well, but the iframe refreshes the whole memory. So right now I created a video of this horse, and if I start it, it is a video of a horse, and it's pretty low res. So if I glitch it using Tomato, up horse.avi, and I'm gonna do the pulse mode, pulse C2, pulse C5, and 1. I'm gonna try and not make this too long, but oops, there we go. Here you see there's a really sort of like, it's nice, but there's a sort of a low res vibe which is going on. And the thing is, I always wondered when I look at Thomas Collet's artwork, and when I look at
because he primarily uses Tomato, doesn't he?
Yeah, he uses mostly Tomato and FFglitch. And one of the things that we actually discovered together with Thomas, because we did a residency at my house, and we were looking for a way to like have videos to be 4K or 8K and glitching from there, to actually basically have these really fine artifacts. Because as I was talking earlier about DCT artifacts, you see these tiny squares there. They're very close to what DCT is. In video, we call them macro blocks. and there are actually the same type of artifacts. It's just that we're not gonna modify the inside of the macro block, but we're gonna modify the way the macro block moves. And the goal was to have the most tiniest macro blocks possible, and to do so, we
you
basically...
I know you did the ballerina during that time.
Yes.
You glitched that video, and when the ballerina spins, the tiniest artifacts are just flying off of them. It's very, very detailed.
And the reason why it was basically detailed so much and is because we had what we call a neural upscaler. And so
Yeah, I was about to ask. I was like pretty sure that you were taking like not 2K and 4K images and turning them into 2K and 4K images.
Exactly. And the main problem that we crossed when we were doing this for the first time. So the first time we took these small videos and we would put them in Adobe, and we would upscale them to 4K and sometime add some noise. But then the motion vectors would go all wibbly wobbly in all different kinds of directions, which should make no sense, and so we would lose the motion. And what we discovered were that basically somebody who is a fan of anime and was always
Who?
was basically a little bit sad that a lot of the animes downloaded illegally from the internet were basically low quality. And so that person developed a neural upscaler, so a program that analyzes
that's amazing.
low quality anime. And
it's like there's so many reasons I could have built that, and that's the reason. Love it. Love it.
And so it's called Waifu2X. And you can actually find the code on GitHub. GitHub.
I write this down.
Yeah, and it used to be pretty code heavy, but now you have the demonstration with the anime videos. It used to be pretty code heavy, but now you can basically just do exactly.
Oh, that's what you're running right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So now it has a GUI, which makes everything much simpler. And it's actually successfully converted, so it's going to take me horse number 2, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing, but this time with...
You're taking the video you just made with the Moy Bridge?
Exactly.
Are you taking the original and updating it, or are you taking the glitched one and trying to update it?
So basically, every frame of the video, I have now upscaled them to, I think it's 3K. So the quality looks a bit similar.
So this does it frame by frame.
Exactly. But you can see here in the details that every picture now is 3000 times 200, whereas before it was in basically 300 by 200. And I don't want to spend too long on that. I'm already spending maybe a little bit too much time on this. But I do want to show you guys the result. And if this is too off topic, Dina, you can tell me. It's just I really wanted to illustrate Thomas' work by talking about this. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
And suddenly we keep this movement. But the macro blocks get so much tinier. You can do this in 6K and 10K and 12K. And sometimes I've actually done it with 24K, but you can't run it on your computer, so you do it in 24K.
Yeah, I was going to say, whose computer does that? My computer can't even run the game right now and do this at the same time. Well, that's internet. It's like, your internet sucks. I'm like, I know.
But yeah, so when you do it in 24K, you're going to have to just do it, not watch the result, and then rescale it down into... I'm on the wrong...
Yeah, it's like we are in your Facebook.
Yes. There we go. And then you're going to have to rescale it before even watching it, which is actually kind of fun. Did I get kicked out of the expo?
It does that sometimes.
It does that?
I know how to get... Yeah,
okay,
I know where we were, though.
Which number did you want to visit up next?
Actually, I want to go back towards Roz and go to the left of that. So if we press 0 and then just run up the stairs.
Got it. Oh, stretchy. I just got this at a thrift store, and it's basically
nice.
jeans And what's this called in English?
Mesh? I don't know. Lace?
It's like this sort of transparent black thing. I think it's lovely.
I think either lace mesh. Just combine them. I've had this shirt for a long time.
The Jody t-shirt.
The what?
The Jody t-shirt.
Oh, it's actually not Jody, but it's totally Jody
It's
at the
not
same
Jody?
time.
I always thought it
No,
was
this
Jody.
this is my friend who there used to be this like really small glitch noise software that he would do coding in, and he created this, which probably why it looks very similar to Jody's Jody work.
Never mind.
Ooh.
I found the old window from where it was, so I can go back to Ras's artwork
Yes.
if you want. I was gonna say it's this
Ooh,
one, but it's not.
Cute.
Yeah.
It's not that one.
Let me run through it. There we go.
Okay, go to the room in the left.
Left. My left?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
It's going to take a little bit to, yeah. Yes. I was so excited to see this piece here. Kit Young is super awesome. Does a lot of analog work, has a lot of equipment toys. I think that they were in California for a while, but have since moved to Chicago. So that's how I got to meet them. What I love about Kit's work is that even though there's a lot of analog work made that kind of has a similar aesthetic, I know Kit's work immediately when I see it. I think his work and someone like Paloma Cop are very similar, but I still can separate them, and they both have unique styles, which I think it can be really hard to do when you're doing kind of aesthetic art such as glitch or something. But
yeah, I was gonna say how does one? Sorry if I'm cutting you, but how does one find a style, or how does one recognize a style out of a genre that is so technique based as well? Like in the analog world, there are so many codes that people don't have to follow, but of course fall in because of how media and how technology is. How do you take people in different places as an artist in this case?
And also, I mean, I wanted to just touch base too, is that we all exist on these platforms too that change our work just by uploading it to it. So you have like just so many levels of trying to differentiate yourself and hone in a style that is yours that you can kind of have more control over. Kit Young's really great. Alan Moore, I was stoked to see that this was a collaboration with them because I actually went to the same college as Alan Moore. I was an undergrad when he was a grad student, and he's super cool. I imagine, which we don't hear here, is that he did the audio work, because what he likes to do is he makes these, what do you call it? Carbon. He makes carbon vinyls that are like weirdly shaped and whatnot, that creates as sculptures, and then he plays that on.
Sorry, I tried to put the sound on, but it didn't work, so you might have to re-say what you said in the last 15 seconds.
Okay. Well, Alan Moore creates his own vinyls out of like carbon, and he actually plays those with the needle, so it sounds crazy. And they've been doing work together, and have actually been putting a lot of shows together. I got to meet and play with both of them in Chicago with a show that Kit Young. Yeah, with the game performance that me and Roybot did. Yes. Roybot, who actually is also in this show, another Chicago artist. And that show was put together with Kit Young and Sky Goodman just before COVID, actually. So it's the glitch community is super tight, and they're always like trying to put things together for everybody. So excited that this piece is here. I think that Kit has a really strong sense of movement, and when you see it live, this is all going with music. And even though I get bored pretty easily with a lot of analog glitch artists, because it kind of just seems like they're just messing around, which can happen. Kit's, I think, show went for like 45 minutes, which I was just like, oh my gosh, I need something. But it like for majority of that, I was just very pulled through and taken, because he knows how to do the timing. Oh, okay. Mike Brown did the modeling. Sorry, Mike Brown. I've never met you, and I don't know much about you. So, yeah, I really like this piece.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really great.
I think there's also is there a piece of Paloma Cup in the exhibition as well?
Who?
A Paloma Cup in the exhibition as well?
I did not see them in this exhibition. Of the people I just talked about, Sky Goodman is in
Yeah.
this exhibition. Roybot does have a piece in this exhibition as well. But I do not believe Paloma does.
Gotcha. That is definitely some neural work. Did I have somebody else on the first floor that I wanted to talk about? No, I don't think so. I've actually gone through all of my glitch people.
If you go up the little
you
stairs,
can take me anywhere.
Mhm.
So
I
we're
think
going
it's this one.
up to the kitchen. I think this used to be
This
the
is-
kitchen. This used to be your bedroom over there. You guys slept on the first floor,
Or
right?
actually, press 4,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna just fall down that hole.
Yep, gotcha.
But don't die.
Yeah.
And go up those stairs. This may be actually where you just were. I think I just wanted you to jump down the hole.
Okay.
We
Shit.
just
I didn't hurt myself too much. So I'm now on the second floor.
and go down the hole and then up and then
This
on
hole?
the right. I think so. To start activating things.
Yes.
No. Go back.
Go back?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're too far. We're looking for Sabato.
Oh, Sabato.
There we are.
This is it. I wanted to read about this one before talking. But okay, I'll let you talk about it because I didn't do the reading.
Well, you know about Sabato.
Yeah,
so Sabato is a Brazilian artist located right now in Massachusetts. And he calls it cybergunk. I'm sure most people here watching know of the cyberpunk video game that came out that just was loaded with glitches. And lo and behold, a glitch artist decided to push the boundaries on that even more. And I find I haven't actually seen a lot of these videos. I saw most of the stills that he made, which were just so hilarious. There's something really comical, and I think it's been carried over since like Grand Theft Auto, of having like these humanoid characters like this just like be so glitched in realistic settings. There's something incredibly humorous about it. Or maybe it's also that it's like familiar. Like
Yeah.
I've played games that look like this, or I'll always remember when Roz came to America and for the first time and kept being like, I know this street when we were in Chicago because
Yes.
I've played Grand Theft Auto and
Is Grand
I
Theft
know where
Auto in
we are
Chicago?
because, or just like
Yeah,
cars
it's
and
like-
stuff. Like she was like, I see things that
Just
I
this
know only
configuration,
because of
yeah.
this video game, which is still so funny to me. But there's something in that when you see games that have this sense of the familiar, and yet it's also a sense of familiar in that it's trying to replicate or stylize real life. To see it break down in this way has a very acute sensibility. That's really actually just
Yeah,
a
that is
beautiful one.
really,
These are just
really lovely.
I wonder. So he's just like zooming in on the hair.
Yeah.
Is that really what the hair looks like? Did somebody
It looks
model
like these
that?
tiny trails. Like, is it Unity or is it? No, it's I don't know Cyber. I mean, I sort of saw all of the glitches, but I didn't. I
Mhm.
knew they were referencing something, but I never actually played the game.
I
Was
haven't
it-
played the game either. It was a huge download, and I also did not want to pay for it.
Hmm.
But now I wish I did because that's like I wonder. We should have asked more of how they are getting to do this. I know a few other there's a lot of game glitchers in the community. Obviously, I mean that's like kind of I mentioned Jamie Fenton a few times. Like
Yeah.
just hitting literally a game and glitching it is kind of like the early works of glitch art. Oh gosh, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
So like somehow he's glitching information of these models and of this game.
Yeah, for
Or-
even a lot of people, the glitch, where a glitch comes from, when I started talking about glitch art to my friends, they're like, oh, the thing in the video games. And so I think it's like really cool that we sort of keep this tradition of glitching video games. I know Subaru does it a lot. He actually still
A lot.
glitches some
Star
some
Fox is a big one.
yes, exactly, the NES video games.
What
He did the
was it
Dolphin
called
as
in
well.
the Dolphin? I forget what Star Fox was called in Croatia, but it was not Star Fox. It was something else. Maybe it was like the Croatian name for it, but it was like a different name. I just
was
remember
gonna say-
seeing like the SNES thing and it being like,
Yes.
that's totally Star Fox. That's totally not the name.
I think it's Star. I know it's Star something. It was the same in French. It's just I didn't get why it was named like that in the US, but I guess it was import export.
Well, we are getting probably to where you want to take over, but if you could really quickly, how do I get this?
You tell me.
It's up the stairs with the fence. I think we go back downstairs. Go ahead and press
Oh.
0.
0. There we
And
go.
then hold down shift and run up the stairs.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you have the PDF of the Lane Kogo one, because I really did want to talk about their work just a little
I
bit.
pressed on 0 by accident.
You could just, do you have that PDF I sent you?
No, I don't. I'm so
okay.
sorry. Did you send me a PDF?
No, that's okay.
What was it?
I did.
Shit. What was the PDF about?
It had all of my mapped out locations.
Ah, okay. Do you want me to
Go in
check
that room on the right
on the right at the neighbor's place?
in the beginning? No, go to the.
Oh, I think I know which piece you mean. Do I have it written down as well?
Yes.
That is Georgios Gargalis. That is Joe Gilling.
How many works were there? Over like 100. Oh, maybe it is here down the hallway a bit.
150, yeah.
150.
And that's Eric. Elaine.
How do you know most of these? This is like half the thing. Oh, that's okay.
I can find it through the emails if you want. Do you want me to check my emails real quick?
No, it's okay. I don't know if it would even like really help too much in terms of. I know that it's a vertical piece, and then go to the right where you are. Nope.
Oh, it's Starwing, Vidron says. Sorry about the video game.
Oh, Starwing. Yeah,
yes.
I was so confused.
I remember that. I don't know the name of that. The person who finished Starwing just in front of us. And I actually...
Oh, yeah, they played it. And I was like, wow,
amazed
at
that person when he did that. Because Starwing was the game that I tried to win against for years and years and never managed. I think it's one of the games that completely traumatized me.
Traumatized you?
Traumatized me. Yeah, all alongside with all this Diablo and all of this. No, I really can't find Elaine's work, but I you know what?
Okay.
I will check my emails real quick.
Yeah, it was actually, I would just say go to their Instagram, but I think it's a piece that they did not actually share via social media. I think they only submitted it here.
Yeah. Citru Blue. And no.
It's okay.
Okay.
I'd rather you just take over. But Lane Cortez Gonzalez, really awesome artist from Costa Rica. Look into them. They do a lot of identity pictures, and I think that they're studying physics. They're a really interesting person. Oh, that's
they're the last. Aren't they the last curator on the Glitchers Collective as well? And
they're the latest one.
Yeah, part of the team.
They're more of a moderator though.
Gotcha. Let me just run real quick.
If you want to be a curator of GAC.
Yes, please do, because we're running out of people.
Contact me.
We all have jobs and boring stuff to do in life now.
Oh, it's crazy that we've been doing it. Oh, here it is. Hey. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
I don't actually know what glitch methods they use. I'm not sure if they use apps or I've never seen, that's FM. I've never seen actually work of theirs that have used that. But I tried to find this piece via their social media, and I could
Yeah.
not find it. I think it's very ghastly, which is very Lane seems to have kind of. I know they really did not like. Who is it? Who's that artist that has his own absinthe and does the beautiful people?
Sorry, what? I was reading veterans' comments, so.
Beautiful people. Marilyn Manson was like one of the first comparisons people had made with work of theirs, which of course they didn't like appreciate.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I can kind of see maybe the ghastliness of it, but Lane really has their own style. They mix a lot of the colorful glitching. It's always based around usually like some kind of human form. It's always personified, and it's very personal. Their work, and they're really new. They only came in, I think I wrote it down, 2019
Yeah.
is when they joined GAC. So they've like not only stood out a bit too, but they ask a lot of questions in the glitch community. I don't think they've been so active as of late, but I think that they're really interesting artists, and I'm really excited to see their growth and what they continue to contribute to the community.
I just also gotta love that the work is being transpierced by a bit of fubar.
Yeah. Stamp.
Yes. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Did you want to show anything else, glitch wise or other?
I think I've gone through all of the artists that I wanted to talk about, and I also think that we're a tiny bit over time, so I think that means that we're on time in some sense. Sort of, we're over time, but it's okay. So yeah, I'm really happy that I did this with you. I expected it to be completely different. At first, we wanted to do a very naive show where we were discovering the fubar space together, but then we
kind of walked around the space too much. Yet still, because it's supposed to be disorienting, I think the space, but because it's disorienting, it's like, oh, where is I know that this piece exists between this wall and that wall, and I don't know where these walls are. And then I end up outside. If you actually, is it 5? Press 5.
Yeah, that's number 5. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
You end up here, which actually I think has work by Sky.
And there's a
Goodman
piece by V and D as well, which they did with Sky. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you look outside at the window, oh, that's really pretty. You're here. And you can't. Oh, you can actually go outside.
Yeah, you can go outside. Yeah, I think that would be a good ending. Just dying.
Just dying. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
I wonder if they took this off of Google Maps. That's very cool.
Yeah, they actually did.
Wow. Oh. Wow. Can we hit the edge?
Well,
this is kind
just before I die. I like to. That is the French. I was wondering if it was the French Institute or not. I had a down. I didn't want to say because I was like, I recognize it's the French Institute of Croatia. You know, I didn't want to be that person.
Oh, the building is?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't want to be the Frenchman? Sorry.
Sorry. But yeah, just before I jump, I want to say thanks a lot to Dina and Vedran for letting us do this and for inviting us to do it. And for all the people watching, and thank you, Bee. See you in another life, people. Ciao. There you go. That was just for me dying. I'm not going to cut the stream right now. I'm actually holding on to a little bit. Oh, I'm actually not dying. Okay.
We don't. The real glitch. You just walk off into the.
Oh,
that's
no.
You can't even.
I'm guessing.
But if you go up and down the stairs,
kill
you can
myself.
just continuously.
Yeah.
If you so press what is it?
2,
4. Press 4.
4.
Now you can
I want to
just fall down this hole.
Oops. No, it doesn't work. Maybe if I do
Did
it
they take it
multiple times.
away?
Can we not die anymore?
Sorry, this is us just.
Ah,
Oh, there we
there we
go.
go.
Pain. Can you actually die? Is
I
there
don't know
life
if you can
counter?
die in multiple times though.
Oh, we're
Yes.
so bad at this. That's good. It's good to be bad at
Yeah.
dying. It's good.
I wasn't lying when I said we would do a slow run of the game. Sorry.
What would be like the end of this game that like you come to like a knowledge or like a sense of glitch like doesn't exist.
I did die at some point in the game, but maybe
I like that Clap Yo Hands remix of SpongeBob Square Rave is apparently what the music is right now. Not sure what that is, but every time you say wibbly wobbly, I just think of like the Squidward thing. Oh, we died!
We did it!
There we go.
We did it. Well, that was lovely doing this with you. I'll talk to you in 30 seconds, B, anyway, because you'll still be there when I'm going to turn the live stream off. But thanks a lot for following, and have a great evening. Ta-da! Now, it's usually easier when I'm cutting a chat, but right now I have 4 windows to stop the live stream. There we go. This is the one.
Ta-da,
Goodbye.
but also, hold on. Let us